problems out of the calculus book from Thomas, the early transcendental book. So it's a limit of a function and limit laws from section 2.2. There's gotta be a way to do full screen on this thing. No, there is, I just didn't do it. Here it is. Okay. So let's do some problems from that section. So I'm going to start with problem number 11, which I need to get the book out, which is right here. So we're going to find the limit of, as x approaches negative 7, of 2x plus 5 for number 11 here. So we have the limit as x approaches negative 7 of 2x plus 5. Okay, so for this problem, it's simple. Since it's a polynomial function, you just plug it in. So since it's a polynomial function, and polynomial functions, we just plug in the number, it's in the domain. So we do the algebra of 2 times negative 7 plus 5, which is negative 14 plus 5, which is of course negative 9. So from here, the limit as x approaches negative 7 of negative 9, the limit of a constant is a constant, so thus getting us negative 9. Let's try the next one, number 12. Which is the limit of negative x squared plus 5x minus 2 as x approaches 2. Limit of negative x squared plus 5x minus 2. Once again, since it's a polynomial function, we can simply plug in the number. So we'll do the algebra of plugging in the number. Becomes negative 2 squared plus 5 is 2 minus 2. Negative 4 plus 10 minus 2, which is 6 minus 2, which is 4. Let's go to another page. And so we end up with the limit as x approaches 2 of 4 is, of course, 4. And you'll notice I do the algebra before I use the limit laws. It makes my life easier. And it will make your life easier. This way you do not have to carry the limit all the way through your calculations. And I don't like carrying limits all the way through, so that's why I do the algebra beforehand. So let's go on to 13. So we have the limit as t approaches 6, 8 times t minus 5 is t minus 7. Okay. In this situation, we have constant we have a constant which will factor out of the limit. So the 8 comes out in front. And this becomes the limit as t approaches 6 of t minus 5, t minus 7. Plug in the 6. So we'll do our algebra once again. Plus 1, negative 1, which ends up being negative 1, times 8, which is negative 8. So the limit as t approaches 6 of negative 8 is negative 8. We could have expanded the polynomial, but that's pointless work. So let's not do that. Okay, last one for this group. And then I'll do 15. I'll do 15 through the others in the other video. So with 14 we have the limit of x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4x plus 8. X approaches negative 2, sorry. Of x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4x plus 8, I believe. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we could do this problem. I'm going to do it the way I know how. So if I so what I can do is use the limit law here. We have a difference, a sum, and another sum here. So we'll just break this apart. So, I mean, it's a polynomial function once again, so I could just plug in the number. So that's what we'll do. But I want to show you that you can do it this way too. The limit as x approaches negative 2 of x cubed minus twice the limit as x approaches negative 2 of x squared. Wow, my handwriting looks horrible there. Let's redo that. So, damn it. Really? Here, that's what you're going to do to me? Okay. Limit as x approaches negative 2 of x to the third minus 2 the limit as x approaches negative 2 of x squared plus 4 limit as x approaches negative 2 of x plus the limit of x approaches negative 2 of 8. So now I can just plug in the numbers. So doing all the algebra, so we end up with negative 2 to the third power, which is negative 8. We end up with negative 2 squared, which is of course 4. We end up with 2, and then we end up with 8. And so this ends up being 4. We end up with negative 2 times 4. So this ends up being negative 8 minus 8 again plus 8 plus 8, which is of course negative 16 plus 16, which is of course 0. Granted, I could have done that without using a calculator, so I could have done that without the limit loss too. So let's put this on another sheet. This ends up being the limit as x approaches -2 of 0 is of course 0. So we'll do problems 15 through whenever I feel like stopping on another page.